Welcome to Healing with Heart, simple ideas for profound healing. These videos are meant for informational purposes only, not intended to diagnose or treat medical conditions. Brain retraining and chronic illness. I had a question this week from a patient of mine. She asked, do I just need to retrain my brain? Do I really have to go through the rest of this work? She has parasites, she has toxins, she has mold illness, and she reads some of the testimonials from different brain retraining systems. And she sees these miraculous transformations they have. And so she's asking, can I just do that and get over my mold illness? Can I get over my mast cell flares? Can I get over my parasite issues and my gut imbalances and my food reactions? And the answer is, you have to do both, right? So Norman Doidge, MD, he wrote Brain's Way of Healing. Great book. I highly recommend it. And he talks about 5 steps to neuroplastic healing your brain. And step 1 is you have to appropriately feed the cells and remove the offending agents. That's step 1 to doing any neuroplastic retraining, is to do those right steps. And then the rest of the steps are involved in things like DNRS or Gupta or other methods, all of which I like and I do endorse. But a lot of times you can't just do one or the other, right? I find that my clients, my patients who need to do detoxification work, need to reset their guts, balance their hormones, it's just as important for them to do the brain retraining work, and vice versa. The people doing the brain retraining work, it's just as important that you modify your diet, right? That you're still doing things clean. Why is that? Well, our bodies have a genetic blueprint. They are designed for a certain way. You can only put so much bad fuel into the car before the car starts to malfunction, right? And so the same thing happens for our bodies. If there's things that are dysregulating our body, we can wire our brain around it to adapt. But if you're outpacing our ability to adapt, you can't just continue to retrain around it. Does that make sense? And so we have to look at that. What's your system's lowest common denominator of an issue, for instance? So what someone does, like a patient or client, they come to see me, right? I'm not just gonna say, okay, boom, let's start detoxing you today, and then next week we'll start brain retraining, and then we'll look at your bugs, and then we'll look at your hormones. No, each person has their own order of operations. So what I do is I look at your case like a puzzle, right? And we get all the puzzle pieces out and we examine them first. We see what's going on. And then we can start to develop a plan based on what you're showing up with. So maybe for you, if you're highly reactive, I might want to get you away from your triggers. And then we're going to immediately start with brain retraining, because that's going to help lower your reactivity. But I still have to deal with the other underlying causes that are in your system. But if we deal with the brain reactivity, it'll be much easier, and we might not need as much work to do the rest of it. So is brain retraining necessary? 1000%. I fully believe that. I fully endorse that idea. I teach brain retraining. I use brain retraining with 90 to 100% of my clients and patients. Do I think you can use it by itself? Certain cases, maybe, but even then, I would still want you to eat a pretty good diet. I would still want you to lead a pretty healthy lifestyle, right? So if someone has mold illness, you can retrain your brain so that you can tolerate more mold toxins, but I still wouldn't want you living in a toxically moldy home. And so it's a component. It's a vital component. It's actually a foundational component. But to use it totally by itself, so for instance, to go use brain retraining and just eat McDonald's cheeseburgers all the time is going to be hard on your system, right? We know that because your system was not designed to use that fuel. We can adapt to it, but it's never going to be optimal. So you need to use both. You need to focus on detox and diet and balancing the hormones. But to give yourself a little bit more leeway, to make this stuff more effective, to make it go a little faster, you add in brain retraining. Now, there's a lot of great ways to do brain retraining. There's DNRS, there's Gupta, there's different modes of tapping, right? There's neurofeedback, and I fully love all of them, right? We use neurofeedback in the clinic. I do a lot of tapping. I train my patients and clients how to do their tapping. We do tapping sessions. We'll use other neurofeedback and emotional release modalities to help process the brain and the limbic system. And we teach all of that, and it's important. But we gotta look at the yin and yang of it, right? We've got to look at that balance, and how much of that balance do you need because of how imbalanced are you? So really the question is, what's going on in your case, and what do you need the most of? I hope this was helpful. Share it with anybody you think it might benefit. Put some comments below. Happy to engage with you, and take care.